Okay, last night's homework, so question 2. Right, okay, so you look and you say, right, 4 goes to 9, you add 5. 9 goes to 16, you add 7. 16 to 25, you add 9. Right, 25 to 31, 36, you add 11. So it's not linear. So you go again. So 5 to 7 is add 2, 7 to 9 is add 2, right, 9 to 11 is add 2. So you know it's a quadratic sequence. How do you know it's a quadratic sequence? Because the second difference is a constant. Okay, so that tells me quadratic says that Tn is in the form something n squared plus Bn plus C. So you have to figure out what A, B and C is. That's the first piece of information you need to learn. Second piece of information is 2 times A. So that A there, 2 times A is equal to the second difference. So 2 times A is 2. So that means A is 1. So your Tn is equal to 1n squared plus Bn plus C. So you figured out what A is, right? Now you need to figure out what B and what C are. So you do this by taking term number 1. Now term number 1 is the first term in the sequence, which in this sequence is 4. So it's term number 1. So n is 1. It's the first term. So everywhere I put C and n, I put in a 1. So it's 1 times 1 to b squared plus b times 1 plus c. And the answer, when you work all that out, you'll get 4, because that's what the term is. Okay, so multiplying out there, you get 1 plus b plus c equals 4, and then I get b plus c equals 4 minus 1 when it comes over, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So that's your first equation for your simultaneous equations in the middle. Right, next thing is you get term number 2. So term number 2 is 9. Right, so the second term in the sequence is 9. So term number 2 means n for number. So everywhere you see an n, put in a 2. So it's 1 times 2 to b squared plus b times 2 plus c, and that all works out to be 9. So that's 4 plus 2b plus c equals 9. So that's 2b plus c equals 9 minus 4 when it comes over, so 9 minus 4 is 5. There's your second equation for your simultaneous equations. So then you write one under the other. Okay, so I do it here. So you do 2b plus c, 2b plus c equals 5, b plus c equals 3. That's simultaneous equations, so change the signs. That becomes a minus, that becomes a minus, that becomes a minus. The c's cancel, and you get b is equal to 2. Okay, so then take the top equation, 2b plus c equals 5. So it's 2 times 2 plus c equals 5. So that's 4 plus c equals 5. C is equal to 5. Take away 4 when it comes over, so c is equal to 1. So the question was find Tn. So Tn is equal to an squared, and a was 1, so it's 1n squared, plus bn, b turned out to be 2, so it's 2n, and it's plus c at the end, and c turned out to be 1, and that's my answer. Okay, so that's question 2. Right, okay, so the next one I asked you to do was question 4. So here's question 4. So again we start and we say, well, 8 to 15 you add 7. 15 to 24 you add 9. 24 to 36 you add, or sorry, to 35 you add 11. 35 to 48 you add 13. So it's not linear because the first difference is not a constant. So you go again. Right, so 7 to 9 is plus 2, 9 to 11 is plus 2, and 11 to 13 is plus 2. So you say it's a quadratic sequence. How do you know it's quadratic? Because the second difference is a constant. Okay, So then you say, well, the general term Tn for a quadratic sequence is an squared plus bn plus c. That's the first piece of information. You know the second piece of information that is that twice that number there is equal to 2. So then you divide each side by 2 and you get a is equal to 1. So far we have Tn is equal to 1n squared plus bn plus c. Okay, so I figured out what a is. I now have to figure out what b and c are. So to figure out those, I take term number 1. So in this case, term number 1 is 8. Okay, so the first term in this sequence is 8. So n stands for the number of the sequence. So everywhere I see an n, put in a 1. So it's 1 times 1 to be squared plus b times 1 plus c. And when I work it out, I get 8. Okay, so multiplying that out, that's 1 plus b plus c equals 8. So that means b plus c equals 8 minus 1 when it comes over, which is a 7. Okay, there's your first equation. Next one is term number 2. So term number 2 is 15. So everywhere I see an n, I'm now putting in a 2. So back up to that equation there. Everywhere I see an n, I'm putting in a 2 because I'm talking about term number 2. So b times 2 plus c, and I know the answer is going to be 15 because that was the second term. They gave me that. So that's 4 plus 2b plus c equals 15. So that's 2b plus c equals 15 minus 4, which is 11. So there's my second equation. So then you do simultaneous equations. I'm going to do it over here. So simultaneous equations. The first equation is 2b plus c equals 11. Second equation is b plus c equals 7. So I'm going to make my b's or c's cancel. So they're the same number, but I need to change the sign. So change that sign, change that sign. C's cancel. 2b minus b is b, and 11 minus 7 equals 4. Okay, so then take the top equation, 2b plus c equals 11. I've just figured b is 4, so it's 2 times 4 plus c equals 11. So that's 8 plus c equals 11. C is equal to, the next line is 11 minus 8, which is 3. So then the question was, write down what Tn is. So Tn is equal to 1n squared plus bn, you've just figured out b is 4, so it's plus 4n plus c, and c turned out to be 3. So that's that one done. Okay, and then, sorry, that was number 6. I did it backwards. I do number 4 now. So I did number 2 first. That was number 6, apologies, and this is number 4. Okay, so first difference, 2 goes to 5, you added on 3. 5 goes to 10, you added on 5. 10 goes to 7, 17, you added on 7. 17 to 26, you added on 9. So it's not linear. So you go again, that's plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So it's a quadratic sequence because the second difference is a constant. Okay, so once you say no, it's quadratic, you say, well, Tn of quadratic sequence is of the form something n squared plus something n plus a number. Okay, and then the second thing is 2a is equal to 2. So that means 2a is equal to the second difference. Second difference is 2. So a is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 2. So Tn is equal to 1n squared plus bn plus c. So I found out what a is. Now I have to go off and find out what b and c are. So I take term number 1. So term number 1 in this case is 2. Right, so the first term is 2. So everywhere I see an n, I put in a 1 because it's term number 1. But I know when I work all that out that the answer is going to be, the answer is going to be 2, because that's what term number 1 works out to be. So that's 1 plus b plus c equals 2. So that's B plus C equals 2 minus 1, which is 1. Right? Okay. So when you bring over the 1, it becomes minus 1. Okay. So then I look at term number 2. So term number 2 is 5. Okay. So term number 2 means anywhere I see an n, I put in a 2. So it's 1 times 2 to be squared plus b times 2 plus c, and I know that all works out to be 5. So that would be 4 plus 2b plus c equals 5. So 2b plus c equals 5 minus 4, which is 1. Okay. So then you write both equations, 2b plus c, so 2b plus c equals 1, I have b plus c equals 1, so I make the c's cancel by changing the signs, so minus, 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 so you end up with b is equal to 0, okay, so then you find out what c is, so 2b plus c equals 1, so we've just worked out b is a 0, so 2 times 0 plus c equals 1, 2 times 0 is 0, so you just end up with c is equal to 1. Okay, so you fill in, so Tn is equal to 1n squared plus Bn, B turned out to be 0, 0n plus C, and C turned out to be 1. Okay, so if you just want to write that as n squared plus 1, because 0n is nothing. Okay, and that's the end of last night's homework. Just please be aware I did 264 instead of 246, so just keep an eye on that.